privileged to have Rakesh Yadav today, who is ad tech and performance marketing manager for TikTok. And he's actually focused on gaming and dating. So he knows our kind and he knows our context. His presentation is going to be on dating on TikTok, how dating companies are winning on TikTok. So very on topic for us. Right, I'll leave you to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mark. Hello, LTR. My name is Rakesh Yadav. Thank you, Mark, for the introduction. And before beginning, I'd like to thank Mark for organizing this and having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I enjoyed the whole networking session. I've been here for a couple, already networked quite a bit. I'm Rakesh Yadav. I'm a client solutions manager with TikTok. I'm responsible for the DACH region. I primarily work with dating clients. I have a few of my clients or accounts who I'm responsible for here. We said hello a little bit earlier. Feel free to drop any questions you may have in the middle. Just drop it in the chat and we'll take them up either at the end of it, or we can connect later on LinkedIn and then chat about it there. To have an overview of the topics that I'm going to cover, first, we're going to do a little bit of debunking. There's a lot that has been said about TikTok. We're going to do a little debunking about what TikTok is all about, how you can use TikTok to drive user acquisition, and briefly look at a couple of case studies or success stories of how a couple of dating apps have done that successfully. So before we begin, I'd like to run a short poll. Just drop it in the chat. Who here uses TikTok? Like, what do you know about TikTok? Just how many of you are on TikTok? What do you think about TikTok? Do you love TikTok? Do you hate TikTok? What's happening? I'd like to see something in the chat. Personally and for business. Mark's kids are hooked. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Oh, there's a poll option, and I just ran the poll. Let's see some votes on that. I think if I remember right, Avery, you have a TikTok that went viral, a couple of million during the pandemic. Great. I see that most of you use TikTok, but when it comes to things that have been said about TikTok, a lot of that goes around. TikTok is just another social media channel. TikTok is this, TikTok is that. Sorry about that. Yeah. So TikTok is a lot of things, and everybody thought TikTok is going to be a fad. It's a platform for dancing teenagers, this and that. But today, TikTok has over 1 billion monthly active users on the platform. In Europe, we have more than 150 million active users every month, and we are present in more than 150 countries at this point. They said we are a platform for dancing teenagers. Yes, there are a lot of dancing videos on TikTok, and the hashtag dance has more than 364 billion views with a B. But TikTok is on dancing is not even the top 5 category in terms of the most viewed content on the platform. People find everything on the platform, things they like. I found things that I did not know that I liked. And the difference between TikTok and any of the other platforms is really the basic difference between social graph and content graph. But before I tell you what the difference, how TikTok is different, let's hear from Ed Sheeran, who's one of my favorite artists, and what he thinks about TikTok.
Do the dances and stuff.
No, but this is what I've learned about TikTok. Everyone assumes TikTok is dancing.
It's not.
But it's not. It's not. TikTok is whatever your interest is. So if my interest is cooking, there's cooking TikToks. There's a bloke that cleans pools that has like 3 million followers. You know, like TikTok is just, you find an interest and it's there for you. And that's what I like about it. Because I think before I knew about TikTok, I was just like, oh, it's the dancing thing. It's like, I don't think I see any dancing on my TikTok ever.
I see a lot of dancing.
That's because you watch a lot of dancing. Yeah, just.
So that's basically what TikTok is. TikTok is all about entertainment. TikTok is the first thing you see when you open the app is it's a full screen, it's a video, it's sound on, it's short form content. It's a window to the community that you can access and leverage in a strong way. Now, when it comes to dating apps, how can you use TikTok to drive user acquisition? How can how can you create a community? How can you get more people coming to your platform from TikTok? Let's take a look at the audience. On TikTok, in some of the surveys that we ran internally, we saw that 70% of the audience on TikTok are ready to take an action. They're ready to download an app. 73% of them are willing to buy something on the platform. And TikTok made me buy it is a big thing. TikTok made me play it is a big thing for gaming, where more than 40% of the gamers from TikTok are more likely to pay for games. And reason we talk about games is, having worked in both gaming and dating industry, both these industries are very closely aligned, very number intensive, very performance intensive. And if you go on the TikTok for Business website, you'll see a bunch of case studies on how dating apps have leveraged the platform to reach newer audiences, to build communities, to leverage those communities and engage in meaningful conversations. Now we'll take a look at mastering app install campaigns. We don't have much. I know we have a bunch of web app rating platforms here, so there isn't much for you in this section, but I will mention it. But there's a lot of parallels in terms of how, if you do a campaign on TikTok, if you run a campaign on TikTok, there's a bunch of parallels that apply for both apps as well as web platforms. So the very first thing, regardless of the kind of platform you are, TikTok is all about entertainment, and you need to bring your A game when it comes to creatives. Let's take a look at a couple of creatives that some of your friends from other companies are doing.
If you're like me and you can't see any red flags while dating, then maybe what you need is your besties participating. The folks who know you best can help. More help means less heartbreaking. Tinder matchmakers here, it's a new era of matchmaking. Get the job done, find the right one. Making it a team sport makes it fun. Call upon your mom, dad, friend, or son. Send out a link, watch their pics come. Call your wing women, call your wing men, call your wing days, call your wing them. Get the group read on who you should leave on red. You take the lead and they share the cred. You don't have to pick their picks, you call the shots. They just bring you ropes, but you tie the knots. Find out who they think you'd find to be hot. Then go through and choose who is and who's not. Hand select your matchmakers to play Cupid with the tab. They can do it from your link. They don't have to have the app. They can like profiles for you, but they can't start a chat. They have 24 hours in their session to suggest a match. Get input on your Tinder dating. Let your friends help pick them. Get a matchmaking. Get input on your Tinder dating. Let your friends help pick them. Get a matchmaking.
And another one.
This is my Bumble success story and how I married the love of my life. What started as chatting on Bumble bloomed into an amazing relationship. Our first hangout was at a coffee shop, and our real first date was at this really cute Italian restaurant, and we talked until closing. By 3 months of dating, I think we both realized it just wasn't a fling. I know I wouldn't have found anything like this on another dating app. And when he proposed on our 1-year anniversary, everything seemed so unreal. To think I would have never have found this person unless I didn't download Bumble and taken a chance. I could not recommend this app enough to my friends and family. Take that chance because your perfect match could be out there.
So both the videos, although pretty different from each other, the first one is communicating a new feature that the app has come up with, and the second app is communicating their whole brand identity. What is the core aspect of the app, or the core brand identity, which is what they are communicating. But they both have the common elements of their vertical, which is how all content is consumed on TikTok. Their sound on, they have a music in there. They're following a trend. The first one follows a trend of just rhymes and creating rhymes, sort of a rap, and they use creators. So basically, they have people in them. Especially, and this is the most important, especially for the dating industry, where, and I believe if you do user acquisition or an existing platform, and you've done user acquisition for your platforms, you'll know how important it is to have creators on the creative itself while you're promoting the app. This is even more important for a platform like TikTok, where you're trying to communicate something, where you're trying to engage in meaningful conversations with audiences. And as I mentioned earlier, when you come to TikTok, you have to bring your A game when it comes to creatives. But it doesn't matter what size you're just starting out or what stage you're at. It does, if you're just starting out, if you're an experienced player, if you've been in the industry for a while, we have creative programs that can help you get started for regardless of the stage you're at. Yeah. So first is nail your creative game. And when you start out on the platform, identify what your objectives are. So if you're early stage, you're probably looking to get much more installed. So if you're just starting out, you would follow this funnel. You would go down the funnel, wherein you would start with just getting installs. If you're a web platform, then you would start with upper funnel objective like registration or just landing page view, something of that sort. So you'd start out with an upper funnel activity that you want that you want the audience to execute. And as you build an audience of people that you've reached, people who have shown interest in your app or platform, you would then retarget them with in-app events and then followed by value optimization campaigns. We'll take a look at these in detail now. So install optimization. This is what you would do when you're starting out. You want maximum number of people to install your app. So that is what you're optimizing towards. That's the kind of campaign you would run. And the algorithm would optimize in getting people, showing your ads to people who are most likely to install your app. And the targeting settings that you would use would usually be, usually would start out with broad targeting, cost per install bidding, and you're looking for high install volume and generate a lot of learnings that you can use in the future to target further lower funnel events. Then you look at in-app event optimization. Now, these events are basically, this could be registrations, these could be purchases, these could be any other events that are within your app. You can optimize the campaigns to target that particular action within your app. And finally, value-based optimization. This would be your mature stage where you've gone through the app install phase, where you've gone through app event optimization phase, and you have a lot of learning that you can now use to attract higher purchase value users, where you're targeting users that are more likely to make a purchase on the platform or to make a certain high value intent-based activity on your platform or app. And briefly taking a look at a couple of case studies. We have one from Bumble where they followed this process of starting out with app install campaigns and then optimizing down the funnel, targeting first with app event optimization, and then moving to value-based optimization. With app install campaigns, they used TikTok native creatives. They saw a 5x install volume and a 64% decline in the cost per registration. And for Cupid Media, initially were sort of using not so TikTok native creatives, but when they switched to TikTok native creatives, they saw a decline of 49% in their cost per acquisition or cost per action, a 33% drop in cost per clicks, and about 38% increase in click-through rates. This was briefly a sort of an introduction to TikTok. Thank you for your time and attention. And again, thank you, Mark, for having me. We can connect on LinkedIn. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them now.
Great, thank you, Rakesh. Let's have a look at the questions from our group. What do we have? I think I don't have anything. Why is that? That's thorough. I guess key question for you would be how do people start rolling? Who should they contact if they're not live on TikTok yet? Advertising. I mean, you covered DAC. How about USA? We've got quite a lot of our audience in the USA as well. A lot of our media members are in the USA. So is it regional? Is there a dating manager in the USA as well?
So you can reach out to me via LinkedIn, and I would be happy to connect you to my counterparts wherever you're based, be it the US, any other part of the world. I'll find the right point of contact for you, and I'd be happy to make the connection.
Cool. Okay. How would you say? I mean, I remember years ago we started off with Facebook, and Facebook was very offish with the dating industry. Actually, after a while, and then I heard good things about Instagram. Instagram went quite well for us for a while. And now I hear good things about TikTok, which is why I wanted to invite you actually and have you speak. I was like, what kind of results can people expect as they get rolling with that phase one? I mean, is there any metrics that you can share with us?
Metrics I wouldn't be able to share any metrics as such, because I mean, success really looks different for different types of advertisers. If you're an app just starting out, what is the metric that is important to you? There are some advertisers for whom app installs is they just want to get a large volume of users off the platform.
Yeah.
There are other advertisers who focus more on the quality of users coming off the platform. So success really looks different for different types of advertisers. So I really can't share any metrics, but what I can share with you is we've seen great results and we hear only good things from the advertisers working with TikTok. We have a few of them on the call. Starting out, it's important that to manage your expectations, to have clear objectives, and then establishing a proper long-term strategy. I mentioned if you're just starting out, and long-term objective is to get well-paying users or high quality users that pay for those subscriptions, and you need to be in for the long game, where you start out, where you generate a healthy amount of learning for the algorithm to be able to target those kind of users.
Gotcha. Well, I really like your ad examples. Those are very interesting, especially the rap. That was very creative. Now, who came up with that? Was that influencer driven, or was that an actual ad from Tinder? I mean, meaning who?
That was an actual ad from Tinder, I believe.
Okay, very interesting. So I guess the counter to this, I think TikTok is quite interesting because you have a way of boosting influencers. I can't remember the term for it, but basically once someone runs an influencer ad, you've got the ability to help boost that in some ways. Can you talk us through that?
Don't really have the ability to boost an influence ad. So essentially, when you're running an ad, you're already boosting a content to reach a form of ads to reach a lot of people. So we don't really have a means to reach a lot of to boost a particular influencer. We are a content first platform where it's driven by creators, but at the end of the day, it's content is king, and you're going to reach it's these trends on TikTok that you want to sort of ride the waves of. So we don't really have a sort of means to boost anything, but via ads, or Spark ads, you reach additional audiences.
But say if I wanted to run an influencer program on TikTok rather than doing straight ads, and I wanted to find some influencers that were a nice fit and pay them, does TikTok enable those connections and allow the search easily and the connections?
Yes. So what we have is the TikTok creator marketplace. Basically, on the platform, you can in your filters, whatever it is that you're looking for, X number of followers, X million views on the platform, and filter that where they're located, what regions they're located in, and you can use the platform to actually reach creators on the platform. It's called TikTok Creator Marketplace. It's not available in all regions, but we are expanding pretty fastly. We should be available in more and more regions.
What regions is it available in, might I ask?
Already available in the DACH region. We're already available in the US. We have a couple of new exciting programs coming up to help you not only connect with creators, but also get UGC or user-generated content. So we have a bunch of things lined up. Keep an eye on the TikTok for Business website.
Great, rock and roll. I do have a question for you from True Blue, where progressives meet. The question is, our biggest problem is the cost per install on Facebook Insta and the conversion of those installs into actual accounts. Google has been much better, but still expensive. The obvious answer is try TikTok. Oh, but it's a statement. Okay, that's a good way to leave it, isn't it? All right, good. So Rakesh Yadav, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. This will appear on Online Personals Watch as well. And hopefully we'll have you back. I'm sure quite a few of our audience members will want to connect with you. So thank you for your time today. Much appreciated.
Thank you.